We like to build up all the anticipation.
Wait for it.
Let's say hypothetically that I don't know anything about fly fishing.
Yeah, right?
It was like this instant 8-way man crush.
I'm on the fence.
The time we've been doing this podcast, I've never seen Uncle Buck perk up his butt. It's dolphin procreation. Like you just flipped up out of your chair.
Yeah, he just blew out his blowhole.
What are you talking about?
And that's pretty much my dream coming true is to actually meet you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm the humblest guy I know.
Work and do trade shows in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You meet some pretty wild guys.
You blew it! I'm the worst PR person ever. Fire me.
Welcome back, guys. You are in the current. This is the Rutten River Pursuits podcast.
I wish I could make a current sound. I can't.
That's good.
Bubble,
I liked
bubble,
it. I actually liked it. It was a good one.
Crash.
So we're going to continue. This is a 2-part episode. We're going to continue. We have so much new stuff, but we're going to jump right back into Sodus Point.
Oh,
We just ran out of time for
we
the
going
epic
back?
weekend that we
going-
had.
we're going back.
Returning.
Did we
It's
make
like
it?
Back to the Future.
Yes.
Did we make it to the dock?
Yes, we did. Yeah, Saturday's over.
Yeah.
We talked about the Trail of Honey Buns.
Yep.
And
yep.
I
That's
slept.
right.
I slept through dinner.
Yep.
And we are actually turning into Sunday now. But who's with me?
I'm Steve.
Will.
Uncle Buck.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And there's a lot to talk about this week, so we're going to jump right into it. And so what we talked about last week, if you want to jump back and listen to that episode, was the fact that Deek called me crying and he needed me to bring another kayak. I didn't have time.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. So I
Sounds exactly like him.
So I had to spend a bunch of money on tires, and we had to take the boat up to make them happy. And we went ahead and did that.
Come on, Catfish.
After fishing with Captain Jimmy Del Rio on the Diamond J in the rain and big swells and limiting out, having an amazing time. The Trail of Honey Buns led right into Sunday. And we actually were going to leave. Deek, Ryan, and myself were going to go fishing somewhere because the weather was way too horrible to fish Sodus Point, wind, rain, to take a small boat out, 16-foot boat. And we woke up in the morning. I got up about 4:30 and walked outside and walked up and looked at Ryan and said, "It's calm.
Yeah.
It's time.
There's no wind.
There's no wind.
It's beautiful out.
Get up." Yes. And we did. We drove down to where Jimmy's boat is, and it was flat.
Yes.
Yeah.
But before we did, I have to stop for just a second because I learned something. Sunday morning.
What's that?
Dark and early. Right?
Dark and early.
Yeah. As we got up to go out on this epic adventure that we're all about to hear about, we stirred in the room a little bit, and we may have woke up the other two that weren't going to be leaving for a little bit.
Slightly woke them up.
But they were heading straight home. And I believe we stirred enough that Uncle Buck decided he was going to go use the restroom.
Yeah, I don't remember this, but go ahead.
No, you were already down.
I was loading the boat.
Yeah, and I believe you might have been yelling, "Come on, let's go!"
I got you.
Hurry up!
I got 6 honey buns.
I'm still packing my luggage up. I left my shoes up there because you were rushing me. But what ended up happening was Uncle Buck goes into the restroom behind me, and as soon as the door closed,
Someone else was up right before.
well, I mean, we'll get there. But I heard the door close right behind me, and immediately door closes and toilet flushes.
What?
And Will and I,
when you first go in, who flushes the toilet when you
That
go
was
in?
amazing.
that was the question that Will and I both had when we looked at each other. We made eye contact, and it was kind of weird. Like,
Was that?
And he asked me, he goes, "Did he just pre-flush? Is that what that was?"
Pre-flushes.
That's exactly what I had. I said just go ahead, tell this thing quick. 'Cause
it makes sense in the end.
It turns out,
Buck, you never let anything flush out.
it turns out maybe somebody was letting a little bit of yellow mellow, but when he comes out of the bathroom, we had to ask the question.
He looks
we're
all
like
cocky and proud.
and we go, "Phil, did you just flush the toilet before you started?" And do you know what his response was? He didn't miss a beat. He didn't pause at all. He looks at us and he goes, "Well, yeah, I like a clean nest."
Like, yeah. I mean, who doesn't like a clean nest before you sit down on it?
I said,
Pre-flusher.
Yeah, there's a pea burger still in the
I got you.
I said, Buck,
then.
you have to be honest with me. I need to know if you flushed the toilet before you actually use the toilet. I was going to say something else.
Yeah.
But I need to know that about a dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's just
We're
not,
sharing a room,
You
man.
were you were definitely concerned.
that's weird.
Like you needed to know.
It was weird, but there was a reason.
I wonder how many people in the world are just like you. That's
I
four,
don't
that's
always
four,
do that.
That's 4 gallons of water per
even
pre-flush.
without-
No, if it was a clean toilet, I would have gone in it. But if,
How do you know it's clean?
because
you would have
it's
been balls deep.
There's not toilet paper in there, and it's not yellow, Stevie, with froth. I mean, it looked like a
It
fresh.
was frothy.
Maybe
Frothy.
their plumbing was.
I would say that maybe constitutes a pre-flush.
Yeah,
maybe, you
so
know?
I
likes a clean
pre-flushed
nest.
because you
What
don't
if there
know.
was no froth?
Well, you don't want that yellow
But
splashing
you
on
don't
you
know.
now, do you?
You don't know if you're going to drop like a meteor coming in. At
He's going to drop a whopper plopper.
Can't wait.
Exactly. That's going to splash up. You don't want foreign.
This started out
Material.
great.
Yeah.
I've got-
Sorry about that.
This is our Sunday.
So, bottom
But that's
line,
how my day started. I
Uncle
learned about.
Buck prefers a clean nest.
He's going to keep going if you
I'm
let him.
really-
wouldn't?
Fair enough, bud.
Who wouldn't?
All right. I'm really happy that I was out loading the boat for this.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but after this conversation, it feels like I was.
Yes.
Well, now you know that about me.
I support your pre-flush.
I mean, other than when
Yes.
we're reeling in a fish, this is how a trip goes with the R2 boys. We learn a lot about each other.
Still.
We
Yeah.
do. Yep. So, Sodus Point, we Deke comes out.
San Stevie.
Yes.
Yeah. Moving right
Oh,
along.
we pre-planned as we drove to the water. I jammed DK in the back with all the equipment. Ryan had this nice big open front passenger seat to sit in, and he made sure to put the seat back as far as it would go and recline it just a little bit.
I like my leg room.
Yes. And as we were going down to the water, I made sure to comment to Deek and Ryan, be sure to send the pictures directly to Steve, not to the R2 thread.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job of that.
Stevie, what were you thinking that whole weekend being
I don't
away?
know.
Like,
I don't want to talk about it.
I want to.
I don't want to talk about it.
Nah.
Come on, guys.
How did it affect you, bud? I mean, seriously.
It was a rough weekend for Stevie.
It was, yeah, because
He won't miss it next year, I'm sure.
my voice is getting high, which is uncharacteristic for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Been saying that for years.
Yeah, it was tough because that's one. I like trout. It's one of my favorite type of fish, and you were catching.
Did you see those lake trout, bud?
I saw them, Buck.
No, he wasn't
they're
looking at the
fat.
pictures at all.
I
He's
saw
twisting
them.
the knife now.
Are
okay.
you? Yeah, like.
Oh, all
did
right.
you need to ask that question?
At 2 buck, eh?
You know what I do?
I got divorced 10 years ago. You want to talk about that too?
You know what I do?
We could, but let's talk about these trout first.
I do remember, though, in Florida, though, there's one epic part about Stevie being along on a trip. He's probably the only one up and ready before me. Like, he's ready to go.
Stevie.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to fish. Let's go. Now, he's extremely patient. He'll sit around for 2 hours, and he'll go, come on, bud. Come on. But he's ready. Like, he wants to go.
We didn't get all the way down here just to sit around, guys.
No, it was really. I was happy you guys are having a good time. I was really thrilled that I was worried the weather wasn't going to hold
He's got his
out.
fingers
You
crossed
were
under the
hoping that-
podcast table.
That's what I heard. You hoped that the weather wasn't going to hold out.
I thought I heard something about hoping for the boat capsizing.
There was that comment.
Deep down inside.
I mean, in the end, he wanted us to all be rescued, but
wanted you guys to all be rescued and to be safe, but
That boat's
you had a terrible fishing trip.
Stop catching my co-host.
I hope your stringer full of memories goes down to the bottom.
No, I'm glad you guys had a great time, but it was hard because it was. I don't know. I'm sure it was the same you guys felt when we were
Yeah.
hooking peacocks down in Miami. So it's just tough. You want to be not just the fishing part, but the trick
is
being there.
The real trick is to never miss the trip. That's the trick.
Yeah.
Well, that was 7 hours out on the water.
That's what Aerosmith told us.
Yes.
But the 17 hours on land, golly.
Yeah, I have a hard time with motion sickness, so I don't know. I don't know how I would have been. I've got sicker and less, but anyways.
Yeah. You were
next
missed,
year.
bud. You were missed,
well,
Steve.
We missed you,
bud.
make it happen next
So you got Deek in the back.
Up.
In the back seat. His knees are all deked up.
Well, he's excited because the water that was like trying to sink boats at the dock is now flat.
Yeah,
the next morning, like it's like the fishing gods just waved their hand and just calmed what you guys saw was just gale force type winds the day before.
This is not the chop you're looking for.
Yes, right. Yeah. So they did like the Jedi hand wave, and we would go fishing.
When you were sleeping, when we were eating, it was flat.
This was like 3 hours after 5 foot swells.
Yep. Flat, calm. And I'm like, that is not the same body of water.
No.
I've heard that about the Great Lakes, but
It just turned off.
Well, when we were out Saturday, it turned like it was choppy all day, but it turned bad like a light switch. It got to them 4 or 5 foot swells very, very quickly.
It was the wind that pushed the rain off.
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah.
So anyhow, we take off. And we get down to where Captain Jimmy Del Rio is. But we did look the night before on Google Maps. We found 3 other Sodus Point boat launches, and we checked them all out. We found the southernmost tip of the body of water, which is like an inlet of Sodus Point.
Sodus Bay.
Sodus Bay, correct. Yep. Thank you. And we pulled in, and there was this old... it looks like Hog Heads Marina. You've been to Hog Heads up there by Pinchot.
Yeah, it actually reminds me a lot of that.
Yep.
Now that you mention it.
A bunch of bait tanks, a bunch of odds and end fishing stuff, a couple whoopie pies, whatever, oatmeal pies, and like 2 old guys sitting there talking about fishing that were selling gear. Yeah. Like it was a bait shop. And this place was pretty cool. DK actually checked it out. You can rent one of the rooms above the place and have a boat dock to take your boat. It's $60 a night.
Really?
With the boat dock to park your boat to come in and out for $60 a night.
And actually they have boat rentals. If you don't have your own boat, you can just rent a boat.
Yep, you can rent John
up to an 18-foot pontoon.
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
So as we're sitting there talking to these guys, there was another fisherman in there. And I asked him, DK and Ryan and I walked in, we're checking out the boat ramp, and we're wondering, I said, hey, buddy, is there any bass here? And the guy that ran the place looked over at DK and he went, really? He's like, if you can't catch a bass here, you're not a fisherman. And the guy looked at us and he went, the smallest fish we caught yesterday was 4 pounds. And I went, okay, we're fishing here.
What?
Yeah.
Hold my monster.
This is the spot.
He said the smallest pike we caught yesterday was 36 inches. I went, yeah, we're fishing here. So, and then obviously we asked him, what are you catching them on? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And,
Ned rig.
Ned rig. Yeah, I mean, everybody's...
Would have never guessed.
Everybody up there has like a shirt that says Ned rig on it, so...
The guy that it's called Ned's shop.
It
Ned's tackle shop.
It had rig on it, but it fell off a long time ago. Yeah.
That's what he used to do before he had the shop.
Yeah.
Run big rigs.
So he had some massive, you would have loved this shop. He did have some massive custom pike spoons and some really cool rod setups that you don't see in your big box stores. But so anyhow, we go out. The fun part was we go out and we back the boat down towards the boat ramp. And the boat to this point has been running at super high speed, but not at low RPMs. So I got the screwdriver out to mess with the high-low valves under the engine. And I'm like, whatever, tear the hood off, fire it up for just 30 seconds. I'll adjust it.
Yeah, you couldn't get it to idle.
I couldn't get it
Once
to idle.
Once you got it fired up, you'd have to open it up or shut it down.
Yeah. And so I backed it up like maybe a quarter turn, above the carburetor. Not the carburetor adjustment, but the high valve on the carb. And so we fired it up for like 10 seconds, maybe 15. And the 2 guys that ran the shop, the 2 old guys come out and they're standing there.
New York Minute.
Yeah.
And they're looking at us, staring at us. And I shut the motor off and he's like, hey, bud. Hey. I'm looking over my shoulder. Yeah, man.
What is it, Ned?
Yeah. What's up, Ned? What do you need, rig? Yeah. And he said, you'll blow that motor up in 20 seconds with it being out of the water. I went, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for years. I got this. It's a 2-stroke. It's a Johnson's fine. He can run for hours out of the water. And guy's
like
he's just shaking his head going,
Me burn up them impellers.
yeah, you're going to burn that motor up, boss. I'm like, yeah, I got this. And Deke's like, did you just tell me you'd be doing that for hours, like for years? And I went, I know what I'm doing. I got it. But
Easy, Deke.
the fun part was,
Tried to call him out.
so I learned a few things about fishing with our new brother Deke. I don't like to repeat myself, but there are some times that I worry about things that I will say multiple times. Will can contest to this. When you take my truck away and go park the trailer, how many times do I tell you to put the window up and bring me the keys? Lock it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 times. I say it for a reason.
Minimum.
Because Deke took the truck away. We put the boat in the water. Ryan held it at the dock. I'm standing. We're talking with Ryan. We're having a great morning. Water's flat. We're all excited. New place.
Ready
we
to
have
roll.
no clue what to fish with. No clue where we're going. But you can see this massive amount of water. And Deke took the truck over and parked it. And he come back over. I'm like, no, don't park it there. Go park it somewhere else. I don't like it there. The trailer's sticking out where guys need to put boats in. All right.
Come on, Deke.
So
And don't forget my whopper ploppers, he said.
yeah, and get the whopper ploppers off the rear view mirror, by the way. So he takes off, he goes and parks it on the other side of the building, and he comes back, and we're getting ready to leave. Now, we're really excited to get in the water.
Yeah, by now.
Because we were actually going to drive a couple hours south to a Lake Seneca and fish Watkins Glen.
Okay.
So technically, we're in the water 2 hours earlier than we thought,
Yeah.
as long as we get out. Deke comes back, and then all of a sudden, he says, I said, did you lock it? Put the windows up. Yes. I said, all right. I forgot something. I got to go back to the truck. He runs back to the truck. We're waiting. He comes back. And what does he tell me?
His man sandals.
Yeah, he says,
Good thing I went back.
I'm really happy I went back to the truck. Your back window was down. I forgot to lock it. Said I only said it 7 times, Deke.
Oh, bless his heart.
Now go get my whopper ploppers.
And then I sent him back to the truck. That's when I sent him back for the 4th time. Said, go get my whopper plopper.
His head was somewhere else.
Oh, he has a
bless his
hard
heart.
time. I mean, Jimmy had to yell at him a handful of times. Your other left.
We did good. We sent him to the guy we spoke to about what he was using, gave us a bunch of these weird minnows. And we put them in the chubs. We put them into England. And I didn't have an aerator with me, so I figured they wouldn't last long. Sure enough, when we came back in like 7 hours later, they were still alive.
Were they?
Yeah, I never seen anything live so long in 5 inches of water.
Those Engel coolers are crazy.
Yeah, it was. I that's what I contested to. But we head out. We pull out, and the boat, for some reason, knock on wood, fishing god smiled on us. Actually went into gear and ran absolutely like a brand new motor.
Oh, it's perfection.
That little tiny turn of that high valve, we not only had extremely low, take it out of gear, putting it like 1.2 miles per hour. And
No way.
that 2-stroke just putted right along, no problem. Less smoking, less gas usage.
Yeah.
But when we went up about 500 yards and we're looking out across the lake to the other side. And Deke's like, let's go over by them trees, that island over there, because the wind was kind of starting to kick up and there was a big flat spot where we could get out of the wind. And he says, let's go over there. I'm like, yeah, no, I totally agree. To go across about 600 to 800 yards, maybe 1,000 yards of open water, the boat was a pretty dry ride, but it was up and down. The boat ran phenomenal, high speed, low speed. And as we get over there, we pull in, we throw the anchor, and we sit in this little spot where there's no wind. And sure enough, I'm still trying to tie up what I think will work. We've never been there before. Mm-hmm. There's this great big swan on the nest. Was that a swan or a goose? It was a swan.
It was a big swan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure enough, Deke smashes a bass, like a couple casts in. I'm
There
like,
he is.
There he is. There he is.
There he is.
A couple minutes later.
I got one.
And then a couple minutes later, what else?
There he is.
Got it. Here we go.
It's like you guys were there.
Yeah.
Backpack.
Deke outfished us for the first hour. He was on it.
Yeah.
And so let's paint a quick picture. So it's Lake Ontario. It looks like Canada. And there's a lot of docks, not with many boats on them, just open docks, lots of grass. We're in about 12 feet of water, looking at the bank, and really cute little, no cookie cutter homes, just almost like little Cape Cod type houses along the bank, bank slightly
That's
up.
what it reminded me of.
The houses were maybe 40 to 50 yards from the bank, so not far. You could see people walking around their kitchen and whatnot. And so we start just drifting over time down dock to dock, throwing Ned rigs and throwing different stuff around, and bass. There's one thing I learned about the bass in Lake Ontario. They are strong. They fight stronger than other bass. I even told Deek, I said, man,
They
this
must work out.
Yeah, they're super strong. There's something in the water.
Pick things up, put things down.
At this point in the trip, though, I couldn't tell you how strong they fought. Because if DK was out fishing catfish 5-1, he was out fishing me 10-0.
Yeah.
Because
I've caught 2
was
bass.
fishless.
I caught 2 bass.
And I was questioning everything in my existence.
And Deke was on like number 12.
Yeah.
And Ryan was still at this point at a 0.
Deke was on the front of the boat?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the lucky spot.
Sometimes.
Always is.
Well, you would know, wouldn't you?
Nope.
Ouch.
Nope. That's the spot that Will likes.
The front.
The front, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We had a lot of room because we took the coolers and the seats out. But so as we're floating down, it gets good. As we're floating down, we're catching a couple fish. The morning's beautiful. It is calmed down. The wind's calmed down too. No anchor. We're just kind of sitting in one spot out in front of this dock. And Deke looks at me and he goes, "Hey, do you see that?" And I'm like, No, I'm fishing. You know what are we looking at? He's like, look. There's girls in bikinis. I'm like,
Deke.
What?
He's got an eye.
He's like, there's girls in bikinis, and it was, I don't know, a few minutes later.
He sees them 10-1.
Yeah. He's like,
Clear eye for an old guy.
Deke's like, I think they're gonna get in the hot tub. They're getting undressed. And I went, I don't. Where are we talking about? He's like, the hot tub up at that house. I'm like, I'm fishing, but I don't notice it. Ryan soon kind of notices them off in the distance, so he clarifies the fact that there is actually 2 young, semi-good-looking, super hot
Boat
chicks.
almost capsizes as Ryan jumps for the...
And we're fishing outside of their house, and off of their dock.
Do you guys think we could put the anchor down now?
Yeah, and we actually did. We anchored up as these 2 girls. Now picture this. Now I don't know how this works in life, but
this isn't too hard to picture.
We're very bored young ladies at 8:30 in the morning. We see a boat anchored off the dock of our house. We have nothing else to do because it's kind of misting at this point. There's no sun out.
Yeah.
There's no good reason to do anything else but to get up, get your bikinis on, plus put shirts and Daisy Dukes on top of them, because why would you do that to walk downstairs to get in the hot tub?
And a couple glasses of wine.
And a couple glasses of wine at 8:30 in the morning to go down to help each other get out of your shirts and to slowly take your Daisy Dukes off with straight legs, to slowly take 20 minutes to get in the hot tub and make a bunch of rackets so that you make sure that you notice.
Bless your hearts.
I didn't notice any of this. Deke pointed it out to me. I had no inclination that this was happening.
And I have yet to catch a fish.
But it was a good place to start.
So you were laser focused, right, Ryan?
I was trying to get a fish.
Yeah. It was a good place to catch Ryan's first fish. We were not unanchoring until Ryan caught a fish.
Catfish says, "We're not leaving here till you catch a fish." I was like, well,
take your time.
It's going to be a long day.
Take your time.
It wasn't long after that, possibly a half hour, till Dad comes down the dock. And he's all Brody, got a tight shirt on. He's throwing this little football up and down in his hands. He comes down real slow, down the steps, out on the dock, right at our boat. Because
morning.
I could have jumped out of the boat onto his dock. We were so close. I mean, the boat was like 30 feet from his dock, but we kept anchoring it closer because the fish were closer to the bank.
Well, yeah, they always are.
And
he stopped and was talking to us. How's it going? Things like that. And
get out of the way, Dad.
I believe it was Deaky that said, "Could you step one step to the left? I'm watching something up here."
Is that your daughter?
Small talk.
Sorry,
no, it's good. Yeah,
he had a lot of advice for us. You know, he had his son out the day before.
Like how to not get shot on Ontario.
No, he said, oh yeah, you know, I had my son out yesterday and we caught a bunch of, 4 or 5 pound bass and they're over there and there's a rock pile at that big giant oak tree on the other side of the cove there, and look down here and see that green dock with the pillars are all painted green. There's a big rock pile off of that. Yeah, you guys should have a lot of good luck over that way.
Anywhere but fishing in front of my dock, he said.
As soon as he walked away, we were like, how comes he wants us to fish everywhere but here?
Yeah. And we were technically catching bass in front. Actually,
you guys were.
Yeah, we were catching bass out in front of his dock. So it was funny. He didn't want us there. That was plain as day. He wanted us to move on. He actually had a small conversation. I didn't hear what he was saying with his daughter and her friend about you guys do this every Saturday morning. Can you stop it? The fishermen. And here's the wild thing. They must know it. And we must, we got there. We didn't know where we were going. We didn't know what to use. Yeah. By the time we did unanchor and he chased us off, there was 6 other boats anchored around us right by that hot tub. So it must be the place to either fish or watch the show. I don't know what it was.
Probably fish.
Yeah.
I would think so.
We did pull anchor and we started drifting towards this big oak tree, which the guy said. And
he wasn't kidding.
No, he was not kidding.
At this point, again, I'm still fishless, and I'm trying everything. But I'm trying to throw everything. I'm watching what DK's throwing. I'm watching what Catfish is throwing. I'm really questioning my entire existence at this point. And
I thought, how am I going to write another article?
Exactly. Relatively new to fishing, terrible at it. That's the name of the article I was writing in my head the moment. Almost epic. So I have one of these little, it was the prank. And I've talked about that recently. It's like a popper and a crankbait. So I was like, let me try one of these things. And I cast this thing out and, pop, burn it back, pop, burn it back. And I'm burning this thing back and it comes right to about 2 foot off the side of the boat. And of course, as soon as you stop reeling it, it just kind of floats.
It flutters to the surface.
Right up to the surface. Mm-hmm. So I burn it back till I can see it, and I stop and I turn. I'm talking to DK. I look back, and as I look down, here comes this shadow from out of nowhere, just crushes the top of the water, takes my lure, cuts the line, and disappears into the darkness.
Massive shadow, yeah.
And I looked at DK. I said, Did you just see that?
He said it just like it, too.
Did you just see that? And almost instantly, the 3 of us are diving back into the center of the boat into our tackle boxes.
To get bigger stuff out.
I think we need a bigger boat.
We didn't realize that we were in, Pike Cove.
Yeah.
They were everywhere.
Pike County, New York.
And it wasn't long after that that the look on DK's face was... It was priceless. He hooked into a bass and he was reeling it in, and then he realized this isn't a bass. And it wasn't long before his excitement went to 9th grade girl status. That's
climbing ropes in gym class.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna stop you again because I need to bring out one more point. And it was when this first pike.
Flush out that point, bud.
As soon as we realized this was a pike on the line,
get it out.
The whole demeanor, the entire boat, everybody just stopped what was happening. We know what's about to happen, right? And Catfish is immediately, he's already recording at this point.
It wasn't no little pike neither. So
and we knew we had something epic going on. And I dropped my rod. I don't even know what happened with it. Probably in the bottom of the Sodus Bay still. I don't know what I did. It's like, get it out of the way.
Probably in the hot tub.
And DK's going, it's a pike. All right, yep, that's a good one. And I was like, I got the net, bud.
He's standing. And Ryan's standing with the net.
DK, in his 9th grade girl, whatever we just called it. I don't need one. His super stupor is going on. This guy could not be more excited. And I'm like, I got the net, bud. And he goes, could Catfish grab that?
Yeah. Can Catfish get the net?
He didn't. He saw the Shadzilla video.
He did.
He had one less than 1 ounce of faith in me to be able to net this fish. He wanted Catfish to man that net. Give Ryan the camera. He can't screw that up, I guess. But for crying out loud, somebody get the net out of his hand.
It was good.
Ouch.
It was funny.
Wow.
But I
redeemed myself.
I did not
That
take the
hurt
net.
me.
I did not take the net. I let Ryan net everything all day, and he totally redeemed himself.
Yes.
we
Good
did not,
on you, Ryan.
We didn't lose in the bass that we
Get
caught.
right
Right
back.
needed
Yeah.
netted.
Get right back on that horse, bud.
Yeah. DK landed with Ryan's help netting. He did land that pike, and when we brought
Marvelous.
it in, and he held it up, and I went, that's a nice one. Like it was a tank. It was a tank pike, and he had that look like the first deer you shoot, the first whatever. It was really good to see. He had that look in his eye of. I think that he's now addicted to pike fishing.
Who wouldn't be?
That would be the place to get addicted.
Yeah, but he held this fish up. You saw some of the pictures we took. It was close to 40 inches pike.
I could see his pike spike in those pictures.
He had a pike spike.
Yeah,
I missed
he did.
that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. Like when we picked it up in the net, looking at it in the net was going, man, that's a big fish. He did good. It wasn't long after that then Ryan caught a big pike.
I caught the bass first, but that pike was the turning point. Like that guy chased us off that dock. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
You'd still be
that
there.
was
Now,
when,
granted, we were only now 35, 40 yards from that dock and re-anchored back up on a different angle.
because
he was in the way.
The next hot tub down.
I borrowed Uncle Buck's binoculars from the day before.
They're better than catfishes.
But anyway, when I finally got back to fishing now, DK's landed a pike where, those guys all have bass. It was time to do it. I actually thought I was hung up on a log, and we were just getting ready to move to another spot. And Catfish was like, okay, you go ahead and just troll your lure out there. And he didn't no sooner start the boat than I'm going like this and I'm making hand gestures like I got a fish on. And DK's yelling, he's just stuck. Yeah. He's hung up on something. And I'm like, cut the motor. That's a fish. I felt the head shake. So then, Catfish cut it down and here comes this big.
Say please.
Pretty please.
For crying out loud. And then when DK went for the net, I'm like, give it to Catfish. Good for you.
I did net that bass.
Actually, yes, you did.
Get back to the front
but yeah,
of the boat.
we landed. I landed that big bass. What was it, just shy of 5?
Personal best.
Yeah, that was
That's great.
beautiful,
About 2 ounces,
beautiful,
Nice.
2
very
ounces
large
shy or something of 5 pounds.
And next cast
I call that Sunday morning.
was a muskie that was over,
A pike.
I'm sorry, a pike that was over 30.
Oh, 30, 36, 38
Yeah,
inches.
yeah.
Yeah, close to 40.
2 casts in a row. Those were my first 2 fish of the day, and it was like, okay, I should
That's
probably
it.
just put it down. I'm going to keep being that man.
out.
It's not going to get better than that.
Yeah, T-bone out.
The dock in the house rental, the little place rental that sleeps 5 in a room, just like we were at the Wickham House for $60 a night. Didn't seem too bad after that. After we found where to fish,
I can't believe that.
$60 a night. So they
Did you check that place out upstairs?
Nah.
Don't need to, don't care. We're there.
The place is so good fishing. We'd sleep in a boat. It's pretty decent. We did really well all morning. After the 2 big pike, I caught a smaller pike. I think I caught 2 smaller pike.
Yeah.
Smaller than they caught, but still trophies to me. And but we caught some just massive, aggressive, mean bass.
What'd you catch him on?
The pike,
Yeah.
Stevie, can you take your headphones off a second?
Stevie, take your headphones off. No.
I used to, he put them back on.
I'm not telling.
I'm not telling.
Well, that's what DK said all morning long. Every time we caught a pike,
I'm not telling.
he's hiding what he was using from us. And then I think I did hear once or twice DK was like,
I'm still not telling.
yeah, my pike's a bit bigger. Something like that. My pike was bigger than your pike. My pike's the biggest pike.
Really?
My pike is... don't you wish you could catch a pike like mine?
Was he trash talking?
No, I'm just, I wasn't really listening to him. He had the front of the boat, and he was whooping all morning, and then tides turned in the afternoon because Ryan got the back of the boat turned on fire. Because Ryan got this little groove where, like, every time I moved the boat, if you left your bait in the water trolling, they like that up there. I don't know just moving it very slowly.
Yeah.
Smash, smash, smash.
They were happy to hit something.
So Ryan just quit fishing.
And let it drag.
I just let it troll. I'll grab that when it
I'm
bends.
sick of fishing. You
I'm
guys
good.
are catching all this stuff. And then he starts catching that way. Nice.
No, but I will tell you this. We all caught multiple of both species, right?
Trophy
multiple largemouth bass, big fatties, multiple northern pike, and some that were just amazing fish. I don't know that you could get a better day, but I lost, even catching multiple pike, I lost 4 or 5 different lures with bite offs. X-Wraps. I'm down like $50-$60 in lures because of it. Ryan needs steel leader, apparently, is what it boils down to. Nobody in the boat had a steel leader. Couldn't find one.
So it was X-Wraps then.
Ryan,
I didn't land a fish on an X-Wrap. I can tell you that much.
Those X-Wraps are too small because the pike have such that underbite.
Yeah.
They literally like swallow it and snap the line off. You need a lure that's about that big,
you know what?
possibly jointed, but I won't tell you what they are.
No, I think Stevie should go out and he should go right up to Sodus Bay with $100 worth of X-Wraps.
With 3-inch X-Wraps.
You won't have a fish to take a picture of.
6-pound test.
Where'd all my lures go?
You'll get slammed. You'll feel the hit. And that's it. They're going. Ryan looked at me multiple times.
Fish on.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's a good. Oh, it's going again.
Son of a.
Yeah. No, we had a great day.
Heartbreaker.
The boat ran phenomenal. The rest of the day, the wind came and went. It got calm. I can't tell you how much of a really blessing it was that we stayed and fished, because it turned out to be one of the best fishing days and adventures that we've had. And DK was happy. He caught his first big northern pike. Ryan had a couple firsts that day.
Yep, first pike, best bass. Well, and then the day before with all the other firsts.
How about
out there
that?
on Lake Ontario?
Yeah.
Here's the wild part. Like, we're there as strangers. PA registration stickers, technically not even full stickers, but as the morning went on, boats started following us, fishing where we were fishing as they were watching us. They were moving over, taking our spots. Every time we moved, there'd be 2 boats take our spots, which was really a confidence booster.
Right.
As fishermen going, the locals are following us.
And at that point, had nothing to do with the girls in the hot tub.
No, it did not at that point, no.
Right.
So
Ryan's like yelling to the other boats, just stop fishing. Just quit.
Just let them drag.
I know it's hard to do.
the tough part was a little after 12. The really the bad part of the whole trip was we literally had to call it quits, because we were going out with the hopes of everybody catching a fish. You know, we didn't know nothing about the place. We didn't realize it was going to be an epic fishing day, but none of us really brought food or drinks. We were really, our blood sugar was low. We were super dehydrated. 6 hours into it, we were just going, we're never coming out. Yeah, we're never coming out here again without honey buns and monsters or whatever. But we
something
like I was
Turkeys.
I was ready to eat DK's hat. I was hungry. It was bad, and I told him, I said, I'm hangry. Let's go. It was bad. But that's what really chased us off the water, was the fact that all of us were just that hungry and dehydrated that it was done. The bite slowed down. We haven't caught a fish in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. It really slows down.
It slowed down, so we had to leave.
Oh, that's horrible. I hate it when that
it turned off. Gotta go.
Minutes.
But we ran the boat back, saw some really good places.
Sucks.
And we were pulling in, and then even the guys at the boat ramp, remember, there was guys at the boat ramp going, what were you guys catching? We were showing pictures.
What were you using?
What are you catching them on? I'm like, that's a nice $60,000 boat you got there, boss. It's a really nice boat. Wouldn't you like to know what we were using? Yes. It's so tough to say.
So we told him.
Whopper popper.
Yeah.
Ned rakes with the 2-pound heartbreaker.
Yeah.
1.5 if you really want to hide it.
So let's wrap this up, though. The Sodus Point on Sunday, after Saturday's adventure with the boys, we did take the boat out. It was a really great adventure. We did really good. We were really blessed with some half decent weather, better than Saturdays, and some really good fishing. And
How would you rank this trip? I mean, I know like Florida,
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, the whole thing, the whole package.
It's tough, man.
It was way better than Florida for me because I was at this one.
To me,
Yeah.
honestly,
I was on half of it, and it was.
you want me
better.
to answer that honestly? I would say that it was epic. Like, I would say that I would brag about this trip to Sodus Point. I would say that it's actually better than our last trip to Sodus Point, even though I loved that trip.
Yeah, 100%.
But really, Drew made
Florida. Yeah.
If we didn't have Drew, and it was a longer trip, so that's hard to do. And a bunch of personal bests, bunch of new fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Lake Ontario before when I was 16. I've caught pike before, so that's tough for me to decide. But they were very close. But as far as camaraderie with the guys and everybody getting along and following the Honey Bun Trail, like it's hard to compare the two. It really was. I loved this trip to Sodus Point. I can't wait to do it again. But it was.
Yeah,
Florida's hard to beat, man. Florida was hard to beat.
I'm not. I guess I'm not looking to beat that. I just thought we had a great group outing, and it was, is up there.
It took 2 podcasts to get it out, so yeah, it had to have been good.
I can only imagine what's going to happen in 3 weeks, guys.
As long as every group outing continues to be as epic as the last 2 have been, we know we're on the right track.
Right.
Well, we went from Drew. We went from our brother Boog to Captain Jimmy Del Rio, 30-year veteran, one of the best fishermen on the planet. We're going north to a fishing god in Canada. I don't know how
Nordic
you're gonna judge
god.
that. In Norway, there's statues of him and his grandparents.
I am very.
Norway's where fishing started.
I am very happy for the fact that when we get up to Lake Nipigon, that
people have said it's fishing done right.
It is.
That we will be unconnected with social media for that time.
It is actually
where we can truly.
I don't know if I'm gonna like that.
I
will
love it
because then we can truly focus on fishing and then.
Just get the footage, get the photos. Worry about it later.
I know, but
later.
Putting it out.
Did you see the post? Like Max from Deeper wants to do a fun little challenge live on June 23rd, and I'm like, dude, we're gonna be 21 hours in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, World Fishing Day is when that is, right?
It's on.
Well, we'll be fishing.
Yeah, World Fishing Day.
There's no
take
phones
place
where we're
with
going.
4 gentlemen.
Dang.
Boom.
So
enough fishing for the whole world.
That's a spoiler alert, but for people that are listening to this that don't know, the R2 guys, some of us are headed to Canada to fish with guide Tyler Dunn.
Yeah.
Good buddy of ours, and me and Tyler Dunn share a birthday.
Same birthday.
Same exact day. So we're going to have a really good June 20th in Lake Nipigon, Canada, which is very far north of Sault Ste. Marie, which is very far north of us.
Uncle Buck has a birthday on the 17th, too.
Does he?
Yeah.
I realize that.
There was a song written about that day, right? That was the day the fish got scared.
What, June 20th?
Yeah.
Well, I was born that day.
Yeah.
And so was Tyler Dunn.
Yeah.
And that was the day the fish began to shiver
Yeah.
in fear.
Yes. That they're not happy anymore.
Catfish went up to Canada looking for a fish to steal.
Oh, I was going to go with Don McLean.
Oh, the day of the music.
Yeah. The day the fish got scared.
You skin muskie.
So bye, Mr. American and Canadian
Walleye.
guys.
Oh,
Mr. Walleye Pie.
But guys,
Are you excited to go to Canada, Buck?
after this trip to Sodus Point,
Are we taking your truck?
I don't know. Are we?
No.
We
Nothing
can.
goes in the back seat because I'm sleeping.
We can. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than the Ram, I think.
We can take
take
what.
the Ram.
Yeah, it's fine as long as I get the back seat.
You can have
It's
it.
way, way, way further than Sodus Point.
Yes,
Yeah.
not a question.
We'll be platooning it. Great time.
So we had a big week, and let's get to this topic hat.
Oh, wait, I got to give a shout out to Lacey for killing one of the biggest turkeys in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and I have to give a big shout out to Mark Sheets from Punch Farm and Paranormal Punchers for coming over and helping me set up the new mixer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully this makes a big difference.
Sounds good.
But he was here for moral support because I know you guys were busy, and I can't, once things are set, I can't unplug things.
Right.
And turn knobs.
Without anxiety.
Without massive anxiety.
Makes you very nervous.
So he was here kind of walking me through it, making sure I had a full beer.
Yeah. Well, we unfortunately had to work Memorial Day weekend, so we didn't get to have fun like everybody else, but we made do. We fished. You come up, we'll come up. We fished every morning. Then I worked every night. But Saturday morning, I got up after working till midnight Friday. Lacey and I went out and set up in the back corner of a farm. And it was only about an hour hunt. She put the smack down on a big old gobbler. So I was real proud of her. And they're still not gobbling crazy, but here's the wild thing. It's late in the season, almost the end of the season. And there was 4 males together.
Really?
Yep, 4 males together. And I've not seen that before. So I'm looking forward to talking to our friend Tracy Groves about that. Super late in the season, 4 males together, 2 Longbeards and 2 Jakes all together that came out in the field. And it wasn't, it's almost 13-inch beard. 21 and a half pound bird.
Awesome.
That turkey was amazing. Lacey did a fantastic job. I mean, I'm sure you had something to do with it, Catfish.
Yeah,
maybe your purring on the call might have helped a little bit, but I'm
Talking
pretty sure
sexy.
Lacey did most of the hard work, and she did phenomenal.
I won't tell this story of the hunt. I'll let her tell it one day, but it was a great morning. Here's the only part I will say. It's a good 1,000 yards back to the truck. Uphill going back. And when she shot this bird and I picked it up and weighed it with the scale and I looked at her and I went, you shot it, you carry it back to the truck. It's like 6:15 in the morning. I'm like, you got this. She did. Put it in a little orange backpack and hiked her whole way back to the truck. And I got back. I went, honestly, honey, I would have carried that for you. She's like, oh, I got it.
I'm glad she did. That's perfect.
6:15 in the morning. You don't hear that very often going, can you turn the air conditioner on full blast, please? Can we go to Rutter's and get a Coke? Because I'm stomped. It was a great morning.
That was
awesome. Congrats.
Beautiful bird. So last week when we started the Sodus Point trip, and this is now part 2, we actually did talk about the Better the Hunt topic hat, and we actually picked a topic out of it. But
that's right.
I think that it's just to honor it, we got to give it a shake again, and then just make like we pulled it out. But
all right,
when you do me the honors,
fake to shake.
Fake that shake.
So we're going to go ahead and grab a hold. The Better the Hunt topic hat.
Yeah.
It's a shaking.
It's a shaking.
I love it.
And I'm drawing out a fake thing because I said it last week.
Wow, it's shaking. Go to betterthanhunt.com.
Yep.
That's right.
Check out the...
Yeah, because we don't want to talk
get
about
one
the
of
one
these
that I
hats.
actually pulled out.
You know what? We got to talk to Randy. He needs to actually call this hat the topic hat.
I like it.
Just go ahead and change the name right on the website.
Little topic
the
on the
hat's
side.
sweet. I love how the logo's kicked sideways a little bit off the side of the brim. It's a sweet looking hat. Go to betterthehunt.com and check them out.
So the topic this week is things to do in the outdoors other than hunting and fishing. Is there?
This is the part where I insert crickets.
Because I don't.
Buck
said last week, is there anything?
We
got
went
one.
camping last week.
Camping is other than hunting and fishing. Do you want to talk about camping? What do you like about camping, Buck?
What I like about camping is I can go somewhere and for the most part, there is no Wi-Fi. There's no electronics. It's back to the basics.
You can unplug and truly reconnect.
Yeah.
You can reboot.
Fire, gathering around the hearth in the day.
So I like cooking mountain pies on the hearth while camping.
Yes.
Yes, you
So
do.
I'm gonna change the subject since we're talking about hearths. What goes in Uncle Buck's mountain pie maker?
Oh, I like the cherry pie filling. I and a little bit of sugar.
Cherry pie and sugar.
Yeah.
Never had that one.
Oh, I have.
I can't say I had that one.
It's not bad.
I like that one.
Well, Ryan, what's your favorite?
Listen, if we're breaking out the mountain pie, somebody better bring some tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and
pizza mountain
pepperoni.
pies
Ones are the best.
The pizza mountain pie.
Pizza mountain pies all the way. I mean, I've had the apple cinnamon ones. I have not had the cherry ones, but we have done like the strawberry shortcake ones, where you actually put the shortcake thing in the bread, like on top of the bread, and squish it
good.
with whipped cream and everything in it. That was really good.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It was good. And believe it or not, peanut butter and banana ones were extremely good one time. They turned out awesome. Hot peanut butter with bananas in it.
Oh, that'd be good.
It was.
I'm trying that one next time.
That's pretty much how that's all we ate when we were camping. Yeah,
Mountain pies.
Mountain pies. Yeah.
The
And
peanut
hot
butter,
dogs,
the peanut butter will burn your face quicker than the pizza sauce. You got to be careful.
I believe that.
Yeah.
It's a
Peanut
bit
butter's
nutty.
it's like lava.
But the
Nutty lava.
The campground that we go to also has a bunch of trails, and people with their golf
Happy
carts
trails.
can travel them, and some of them are mudders, different little trails, but a lot of them you can see.
Where any of
Tell
them
me
fathers?
where this
Deer.
is. Where's this at?
It's up in Perry
Hello,
County
mother.
near Blaine.
Okay.
Paradise Stream Campground. My wife's family,
Tent camping, camper camping,
we're glamping.
clamping.
Glamping.
Glamping. I like it.
Fifth wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, because you clamp it to the truck?
No, it's glamour
Glamping
camping.
is glamour camping.
I never heard
Oh,
it's
I never heard of that.
hard
either.
roofs.
I like it.
Hard roofs. It's like
Home away from home.
it's like Manhattan camping.
Mobile.
Yeah, it's not a lot of work.
Some
guys.
fifth wheels are nicer than places that
Exactly.
I've shown.
Exactly.
Manhattan, I don't know.
With
Some of those
air
things at the
conditioning
Great
and-
American Outdoor Show were stupid inside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What I love about it the most, guys, is we get up there and there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to set up, really. We had the fifth wheels between my wife's uncle and aunt.
Who has the fifth wheel? Your wife's uncle?
My wife's uncle and aunt and her cousin, who are right across from their site. So it's two campsites, and when we go up in the springtime, we always stay in a fifth wheel with them, and then in the fall we bring an older pop up,
Sure. Right.
which we love, and then we bring our dog. And
When's the last time that you went tent camping? Been a while?
I want to say a Richmond, Virginia NASCAR race.
Yeah. Brian?
Last summer in Maine.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah. It's tough on my back to tent camp anymore. I mean, I've gone to Ocean City and slept in the bed, like literally the bed of the truck.
You gotta
for
get a
few
hammock,
hours.
brother.
I have lots. I just always sleep in.
That's the way to go camping.
But when you
Forget
have-
the tent, just take the hammock.
I don't. Well, what are we talking about? You were up at Bearded Buck.
Yeah. You did it right.
Yeah. No, but when I go to Ocean City, my hammock won't. The last time we were in Ocean City, I slept in
lot
the
of
hammock.
trees.
I actually almost got in trouble because I slept in the dune where you're not allowed. It's the only trees out there. But when you have a long bed like Phil's, you know them little square holes in the bed that go down in?
Uh-huh.
You can put like metal spikes in there and hang a hammock on a bed like that from corner to corner. I've done it. But my 4-foot bed won't do it.
Oh,
You can put you can even put like a crowbar in one of them and hang the hammock from there to a tree like we do at Gut Road. But down there at Ocean City, it's extremely hard to find a place to hang a hammock unless you're renting one of the campgrounds so. But you're right, the hammock, the parachute type hammock, the eco hammocks are the way to go. That's better than tent camping at least.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do a whole entire podcast just on camping, but what else is there to do other than hunting and fishing?
Leanna likes the supboarding.
So I never did that, but I've seen her actually do like yoga on the river on that supboard.
Yeah, she loves it.
Tell me about supboarding.
It's just that stand-up paddle board. It's like a big surfboard that you can use a paddle. But we go out here in the river, and
My brother does that.
Yeah.
He loves that. He's not really an outdoorsman at all, but he loves that paddleboarding.
in my opinion, the best part about it is that even over kayaking, unless you have a certain specific type of kayak, you're standing up and you have a completely different vantage point. You're not right on the water. You're actually looking down into the water.
Yeah.
And you can see like 500 times more than you would.
Yeah.
sitting on
A good
on a
pair
kayak.
of Polaroids, you could probably see lots.
Oh, it's magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different world. It's cool. I mean, we have couples, so if you guys want to.
Years and
Jump
years
on
ago,
them.
we were down, I think,
Is there
for
rod
my-
holders on this?
I wish.
I think it was for my
But then it would be fishing.
like pre-wedding, whatever. Will took me stingray hunting with Captain Mark Spagnola, and we looked at supboards in Ocean City at some place.
Yeah, we were just starting to look at those things at that time.
They're big. Like
Massive.
if you never used one before, they're actually intimidating to go, how am I going to transport that and carry it? But I didn't realize how big they were till I got up close to one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's fun. I mean, if it's a little bit of a workout, and like I said, you're connecting with nature on a different level.
Yeah. I'm going to throw some wild ones out there. I'm going to say paintball because I like playing paintball in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not hunting or fishing, but it's playing good old-fashioned paintball with your buddies in the woods out back, like not at a regulation field, is a lot of fun.
Yes.
Going back to my roots, riding my mini bike and dirt bike around in the woods on the trails flying around on the trails on a little old mini bike or go-kart or any of that stuff's good time.
How about just sitting in front of a fire? I mean, I call that the outdoors television.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite things to do.
I could stare at a fire all night long. The flames, then into the coals.
I'll tell you, for me,
I tell you what, a lot of soul searching has gone into staring at a fire.
It's hypnotizing to look at the flames.
Yeah.
For me, though, one of the outdoor activities other than hunting and fishing that I've done for most of my life, but I got away from for the last couple of years, just getting back into it, rock climbing.
Yeah.
I saw you doing something.
Yeah, the whole family did.
The kids are old enough now that they're able to actually understand what I'm trying to tell them. I took them out, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. I had like the little full body harness for the kids and stuff, and they enjoyed it. But it was more me pulling them up the rocks on the rope than they were actually climbing. But we went out this year, and they're actually getting the concepts and understanding what I'm saying when I'm like, move your feet and your legs. Don't just pull yourself up on the rocks. Bring your legs with you, and just doing straight top rope and stuff. A lot of fun. Cool. I miss doing that. I think the crew needs to go.
I saw you doing some rappelling not long ago.
I'm in.
Yes, that was the day that we went. I set up all the top ropes and stuff, and then I rappelled down. And turns out, believe it or not, I can still rappel.
Yeah.
Women have been saying that I've been rappelling for years, but
I can see that.
I can still do it. Turns out I can still do it.
Is that appalling?
Buck said last week before this one started, he started blurting out some things, some spoiler alerts, but he just said boating. And, I have to do that some more often, even though we have the boat and we go fishing. There are times just to take the boat out and explore and put the rods down and enjoy just being out.
How about just taking it out and just throwing anchor and swimming off your boat?
Drop trial.
And honestly, that growing up, I grew up on Raystown Lake, and I've never caught a bass in Raystown. Well, that's probably not true, but I've never tried to catch a bass in Raystown Lake.
But you did a lot of boating.
Every weekend of my junior adult life, like teenage years.
And for people around
every
the world,
weekend and 2 or 3 weeks in the summer.
They love
listening to this, we take that for granted that we say that, but Raystown Lake here in South Central Pennsylvania is a boater's paradise. Like, it's a very long 26 mile, am I right, 26 mile long lake?
North to south, 26 miles, but their shoreline is ridiculous because it zigzags back and forth.
But boating is hugely popular
because
there.
It's Army Corps of Engineer land. There's no houses on the lake. It's all
wilderness.
just woods right to the water, and the lake is beautiful, and you can just rip and tear on a boat. And I've been water skiing since I was 9 years old on that lake all the time.
Mm-hmm. What else, Will, you got anything you do outside other than supboarding?
No.
You used to mountain bike a lot.
Yeah, I guess mountain biking would be one. And I like to, you brought up motorcycles. I grew up on that.
Yeah. When we grew up, it was always dirt biking. Yep.
It's everywhere. That's how we got around.
Yeah.
And we lived in a place where you could go to the store and go to different, go different places.
There's a few people out there that are probably going to be frustrated, like our buddies over at the Back 40 Seed Company, that if I don't say morel hunting,
they're
going to be frustrated.
But that's
You're not
hunting.
mushroom hunting.
But that's hunting.
No, it's not.
Not really. You don't need a.
I've been snipe hunting for years, guys.
Shed hunting, things like that is always a good family
I
pastime.
didn't know DK was still here. I
Shed
just saw him
looking.
go by and say something about snipes.
Training dogs outside is.
We have a pool.
I can go into some things that I see around my neighborhood. Not for me, but like I see people jogging or riding 10 speeds, or I don't understand
I think
that life.
It's called yogging. It's like a soft J.
Yeah. We could check with Span the Void Brad. He knows about some of those things.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's all about, but I mean, I guess you could do that outside if that's what you're into.
We have a
Rails
pool
to
behind
trails.
our house, and that really pulls us outside every year. I mean, like,
Pulls you?
yeah.
Or pulls you?
Well, to quote Casey Bones, pulls me outdoors.
Do you think that that rappelling day could be a Span the Void Rutten River outing?
Oh, yeah. Adventure Jimmy will be there. There's no doubt about
That'd
that.
be
That
worth the
needs to
price
be
of admission.
Don't we got wireless? Can't we do that now?
We could probably do that.
Yeah.
Wireless.
Wireless.
Come on, guys. Let me down.
I don't talk like this.
Please.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Jimmy. I'm
Whatever.
bringing Jimmy back.
Whatever you guys and gals out there decide that you like to do outdoors, whether it's hunting, fishing, or whatever else we talked about or more, just get outdoors.
Just get outside.
Seriously.
That's the thing.
Get outdoors and enjoy your life, and take somebody with you that may not have been outdoors before. You could change their life as well.
And then tell us about it.
And then call us and tell us all about it.
Brag.
Please.
So, I think we did this topic had a little bit of justice.
We did do it justice. I was happy with that one. That's good stuff.
That's a good pull.
Let's kick this.
Right, Phil?
Let's kick this pig. We've done enough.
Paul.
Like Casey Bones would say.
Yeah.
Paul
Help us,
topic.
Casey Bones.
Till next year, wait for Sodus Point
3.0. I like it.
We're definitely going back.
3-day weekend, though.
Yep, 3-day weekend. Maybe Phil will get his boat out next year.
Yeah.
We're just going to travel with an
Maybe.
armada up there.
Yep.
I say if 6 of us go, we take 6 boats.
Yeah.
That way nobody else can pull up to the dock and watch the hot tubbers.
We'll just surround the whole dock.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when the dad comes out telling us where else to go, we'll be like, no,
It's
we're
going
good.
to cost you this year, but
We're good. Now move.
I'll just roll in my kayak.
bust out another 100. It's
I
going
don't
to cost you.
I don't have a boat like that.
Bust out another 100.
You will by next
Is
year.
that a haul?
You never know.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan,
Yeah, bud.
where can they find us?
All right. You can check us out at ruttenriverpursuits.com. Website's all updated, fancy, and
How about
awesome.
that?
Check it out. And like I said on another episode, even if you're looking at it on a computer, pick up your phone, your tablet, something. Pick up a mobile device and look at it because it's amazing.
I love it.
Thank you, Nicole Stone.
That's right. Also, check us out on all the social media platforms. You got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Find us. Just look for Rutten River Pursuits. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, Rutten River Pursuits Podcast. And, of course, the podcast itself can be listened to on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Castbox. All the fun stuff.
How about it?
Gentlemen, how about yous?
Thank you, guys.
Good show, fellas.
It's great as usual.
Well done.
Thanks for not making me edit.
You're welcome, bud.
Hi.
Sorry, bud.
Peace.
See ya.
Rick Weedless.
Trash Panda Quiver.
Deek called me crying and he needed me to bring another kayak. I didn't have time.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. So
Sounds exactly like him.
So I had to spend a bunch of money on tires, and we had to take the boat up to make him happy. And we went ahead and did that.
Come on, Cat. And immediately, door closes and toilet flushes.
What? When you first go in, who flushes the toilet when you go in?
That was the question that Will and I both had when we looked at each other. We made eye contact and it was kind of weird. Like, was that? And he asked me. He goes, "Did he just pre-flush? Is that what that was?"
Pre-flushes
from out of nowhere, just crushes the top of the water, takes my lure, cuts the line, and disappears into the darkness.
Massive shadow, yeah.
And I looked at DK. I said, "Did you just see that?"
He said it just like it too.
Did you just see that? And almost instantly, the three of us are diving back into the center of the boat into our tackle boxes
to get bigger stuff out.
I think we need a bigger boat.